Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of That Sounds Like a Podcast. I'm Audrey.
And I'm Jenna.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I'm so excited, y'all.
Happy freaking birthday. How do you feel?
When I turned 23, I was like, man, I just can't wait till 24. I don't know what it is about 24. I just had like this feeling. I know this year is going to be good. And I also have this weird thing. I don't like odd numbers.
I was
And
about to say that.
24 is also like one of my lucky numbers. Like 10 and then like 24 are like my lucky numbers. So me being 24, I don't know. There's something about it. I'm feeling like bougie over here.
That's such a cool mindset to have because, you know how I am about age? You get on my ass about it all the time.
Yes.
I don't like birthdays anymore, but it's cool that, you can personally choose that this age is important to you because I feel like everybody else is like, well, 25 is an important birthday. 30 is an important birthday, but you can make 24 important to you, which is cool.
Yeah, I love it. I also have started feeling the same way about age like you have a little bit, but I was like, okay, just get out of it. You're still young. But 24, I don't know what's going to happen this year. I'm excited. There's a lot of things that I'm planning in a way. So we'll see. But like we're talking about in this episode, I love conspiracy theories, so that's what we're going to talk about. But unfortunately, I so wish that Raven was here to talk about it because she's a conspiracy theorist. But unfortunately, that couldn't happen. But nevertheless, we'll still get into it.
We're getting serious this week, guys. We're talking about some real life things, okay?
These are getting personal. These are hitting a little close to home. Okay?
For real. Jenna has transformed my whole For You page doing research for this because I'm not a conspiracy theorist, especially about government things because it scares me. But like I said in our New Year's episode, I've really been trying to be more aware and challenging myself to get into things that actually mean something and actually matter instead of just watching Get Ready's with me and rotting my brain all day. So
Yeah.
that's what we're trying to do today.
I love it. It stems my brain like no other. And maybe this is why. We'll get into it, okay?
Okay.
I don't know if y'all's For You page has brought it up, but it's been going viral recently about this thing called the GATE program. And it was a government-funded program where they would pull kids out. And I have a memory of them never telling me what it was. And I've always wondered what it was. And I was in second grade. And most people say it was from kindergarten to second grade. I only remember specifically second grade. And that happens to be the class I met Audrey in.
Facts. I remember it vividly. Jenna was a gay child. Okay, so the thing is we all know about the gifted programs in schools. Every single school has a gifted program.
Yeah.
But in the 70s and 90s, there was, why did I say it like that? Yeah, the 70s through the 90s. There was a form of the gifted program that they referred to as GATE, which was different from any other whatever you thought you were in for the smart kids, because it was CIA funded. And so what happened is these kids, just like any other gifted program, they're ahead of everybody else in their class. So they would get asked if some people said that their parents were never asked about this. Some people said that their parents had to approve of it. So it was different state by state. I heard different things. But the weirdness comes in whenever these kids get tested and then they don't really remember what was going on afterwards. They know they were accepted into this program. They know they were tested for some type of gifted program. And then they have no memory of what was going on once they were actually in those classes.
But you want to know what's crazy? And I don't think you realize is I remember the test that they gave for this program. You got tested for it too. I have a vivid memory of us talking about this test because everyone that was in it or may have not been in it, one of the tests had to do with the hearing thing. But But it wasn't just the hearing where you put on the headphones and you plug it into like this suitcase type of thing. And this weird man, this voice is telling you specific things and telling you different frequencies. What they would do is if you could hear a frequency that most kids wouldn't, they would put a dot by your name. And that was how you knew you were in the program. And we'd move on to the next one. There was a test on the computer that had to do with like puzzles and mental games. And I vividly have a memory last night. It unlocked to me where I remember after taking the one on the computer, I came to you back in class and you had done it too. And I remember being like, I felt bad. I don't know what that was.
The main thing that all of these kids remember is the headphone test, like she was just talking about, the frequency things, the hearing test. And there was also this like really like mysterious pink liquid that these kids would be asked to drink. And then the cards. Have you seen the cards? Do you remember those with like the little shapes on it?
There was different ones. So I don't remember those cards specifically, but I remember the blot test where they would ask me what I thought by looking at the blot test.
Me too.
Like what
I remember the blocks.
The blocks, but the blot, like they're cards, but they have different like things on them. Like
they did that to you? They did that to you?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
I took a picture of it on my phone, and I remembered it vividly. And then I remember, this is I don't know if this would technically count as like the invisible string theory, but it just kind of like blew my mind last night when I was looking. And this is what I was going to tell you, but I was like, no, it has to wait to the podcast. So I've always wondered how, when I learned Roman numerals, it was in the GATE program, and I have Roman numerals on my side. My dad's birthday, that's how I knew what Roman numerals were. They taught us Morse code, Roman numerals, and the Roman alphabet.
So I want to like go back to the psychological test. So these cards, I'll put them on the screen. This was like way more of an old school thing. But if you're watching this and you remember these cards, there's no reason for you as a child to be tested with these at school unless they were testing you for like psychic abilities and being clairvoyant. Because the only purpose of those cards is for the tester to hold it up, not showing you what shape it is, and you guess what it is. There is nothing academic about that at all. And also, like, I kind of understand why some kids would need to have the blot test. I don't think that's the technical word for it, but it's like the paint splatter thing. That's like psychological evaluation. And I feel like that's just really inappropriate to happen at public schools.
Yeah, I remember it. I've always tried to remember so hard. Like, I want you to know how much brain power it took for my brain to remember these last night when I was trying to like get my research together because of that pink drink. That pink drink is a concentrated fluoride, and it varied across state. Like when I was reading the comments, that sometimes they would tell you it was to test your blood pressure, and sometimes it was just given to you with a snack. It was gave to us for a snack. And I remember it would be like a whole bunch of the pink drink and then like a tiny little snack. And I was just like, what is this? But I remember it tasted like bubble gum.
I remember that too. I have a whole story about it, but I want to start with so whenever Jenna decided that we should talk about this topic, the first thing that she said to me was like, I think I was in that. Because in our second grade class, there was 2 groups of people that would get pulled out. And the first group was like just known as the gifted program. Like the kids would talk about it all the time, like I'm in gifted, blah,
Like
blah, blah,
AP.
blah, blah.
Yeah.
And it was like obvious because they had like those thick binders. We were like in second grade and like they had way much more schoolwork than we did. And it was just like, oh, like they're in gifted because they're smarter than us. But Jenna was really smart too. Like she ended up going on and being in like the beta club and everything. And in high school, everybody was kind of in like that one same group.
Yeah.
But in second grade, there was a second group of people that would get pulled out. And I just remember knowing every day, like, we were going to have class together and then you were going to get pulled out. And I remember you didn't go to lunch with us. I unlocked this to her on FaceTime the other day. Because I remember sitting at the lunch table And it wouldn't be like this all the time. Like, it wasn't like this in the beginning of the school year. So I guess like after you got tested, this is when it started happening, because I remember watching you walk in with that group of people, and y'all would have like books with y'all. Like, but it was like the same textbook that we had, I want to say. Like, I remember just recognizing the book, but just thinking it was weird that like y'all had y'all's books with y'all. Like, where were y'all at that you couldn't like leave your books at?
The one thing about being engaged is you don't remember that much about it. But then, like, with me trying to think more and more about it, and it's something that's in common, I only remember one specific person being in there with me, that for a fact, but I know there was multiple people being in there. And I would love to talk to this person about it, but knowing how they are today, I don't think that they would remember, and they would think I was
Like,
crazy.
even in second grade, when I was trying to like make the like discernment of like why these kids are getting pulled out and why like we're staying back. Obviously, like, I have a whole lot of things that I could get to with testing in schools. It's definitely not the GATE program. But I was like, so these kids are like obviously super smart. Like, it's their whole personality. Like, they are obviously way smarter than everybody else. And then in the group that you got pulled out of, there were like really smart people that I would think would fit in with that group like you would. But then there were like these random people that were just like kind of on the same level as me. And I'm like, why are they getting pulled out?
That's what made me so confused. That's why I, till this day, wondered what that was, because the one person I remember was not that smart. And it made me think that I was in the slow class. Like, I just needed to be pulled out in the slow class. But you want to know what made it even more confusing? Is that the same person, the same woman that would be doing the gifted classes, was the same one that did the GATE program.
Really?
Yes, Miss Stuckey.
I guess that's why y'all had to be taken out at different times, but there was a reason. Like I just said, like, I could tell that there was a difference in between them and y'all. And I knew you weren't in the slow class.
But
so like I was just like, this just must be like, I knew in my head it was just like a different form of gifted, but I just didn't understand what that was. Like, nobody did.
I wish my mom was like in the right mental state. I mean, no shade, no tea, no nothing, but I don't think she would remember whether she got a note or not from that. But
I mean, I've watched so many videos on TikTok about this. The majority of the kids that were in the program talk about like how happy their childhoods were and like their parents were good. If you get a letter in the mail saying your kid's gifted and we want to challenge them to like have a better future and be brighter, like exercise their mind more because they're bored in class, which is what the majority of the parents were told, then you're going to say yes.
yeah, that's what I seen too. But a lot of people said they had like childhood trauma and stuff like that. But another thing, this whole thing alleged, okay? Suing purposes, allegedly, okay?
Allegedly.
Is a lot of people saying that it was in the back of the school in a trailer. You remember those trailers that they used to take us to that room?
That was one of the first things that I thought of whenever like I was trying to like think about myself, is that we would get, you remember RTI?
Well,
yeah. I would always get pulled out in a trailer. I remember one person that was with me. Yeah. And but we were like watching Reading Rainbow and shit. And also like I knew the people that were the teachers of this place, and they were just like normal everyday people.
Yeah. I remember RTI.
But yeah, the trailers, there were multiple ones.
There was
and
two.
I always wondered what was going on in those trailers, because the one I went into was all cool. We were watching Reading Rainbow and like living our best lives. Honestly, it was so fun.
There was two of them.
So, do you remember Mr. Ray's mom's trailer? I remember you didn't go in there, but I was wondering if you ever had before, so you could know if like you were in that one or the other one.
I don't remember which one it was, actually. I kind of remember a little bit about what it looked like in there, but I don't.
The CIA bought those trailers. Allegedly. So, like we said earlier, technically, the label of GATE was over by the 90s. And in the early 2000s, there were other gifted programs that just started popping up. And once I found that out, I saw some logos, and one of them really stood out to me. So I'm about to send it to Jenna. and see if she remembers this.
Dude, I'm kind of nervous.
But like you said, whenever we were in the same class, and you said that you remembered me getting tested for it too. I remember that. I remember thinking that I was getting tested for gifted. So, like, somebody said something to me, like, I had the possibility of being tested for gifted, and I was going to take the test.
Same.
But, dude, I'm dyslexic and ADHD.
That's
I
what
hadn't
they
been
told
tested
us.
for dyslexia yet, but I was, like, very well known to be ADHD. I wasn't on the right meds to help me sit down. Like, I was just a bad kid. And I remember being, like, super excited for myself because I wanted to be smart so bad. And, like, really excited to take it. And I remember, like, so I'd already been tested for ADHD before this. And when you get tested for ADHD, you put on the headphones and it's like you basically have to, like, show your attention span by, like, sounds in your ears or something. But I did that at the pediatrician's office. And I remember, like, I've done this before. And I remember the headphones in the suitcase and stuff. But I didn't get into the program. I did get into the program.
But something that someone said in the comments that I kind of remember that I did, and I don't remember exactly what it was for, but I remember after doing the headphone thing that sometimes they turned the lights off to test something. I don't know what it was. They turned all the lights off and wanted to test me, and it was right after the hearing thing for me.
You passed the hearing thing and they were like, okay, next stage. I want to say, like, that was one of the creepiest stories that I've heard. It's like, so basically, dang, my earring fell out.
Yes,
So
I remember this.
You do? That's what you were in.
Yes.
I don't know, like, allegedly, obviously, I can't say for certain that that's what you were in, but that's what was in our school. That was going on during our age group. The LEAP program.
Where is that?
I tried to do research into the LEAP program a little bit, and it's like you can't find out who funded this. It's like we don't know if the government funded this. We don't know if the CIA funded this.
I'm gonna have to find that picture because there was a picture I had that had it was a book. I'm pretty sure the book I'm talking about had LEAP on it.
Yeah, I know I've seen it because of you. Like, when I saw it, I was like, it was either like because of you and your stuff, or like posters around the school.
Yeah. I don't know. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy how the memory works like that. Like, how, like, symbols of stuff can, like, just jog your memory.
Yeah, the blot test really brought it back. And then me thinking about the Roman numerals tripped me out because of my tattoo.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So, like, while I'm figuring out, okay, so there's a weird government funded agency coming into schools. None of these people that are doing the testing work for the school system. A lot of people say that it's men in suits with briefcases that just sit there and watch you. But you don't remember that, do you? I don't feel like I ever remember seeing a man in a suit in school.
The only briefcase and stuff like that I remember was people bringing in the little hearing things you plug the headphones in.
Yeah. But I was like, why? What are they testing for? And I found this one girl. I'll insert some of her stuff here because she still had all of her binders. And, like, I think you said you saw this. Yeah. It's like, so what they were doing was they were taking these kids apart to have these personalized lesson plans where they could use them to see if they could be, like, future employees for them, like training their minds
And
to, like, do
leaders and
puzzles
stuff.
and, like, learn codes and, like, all this weird exercises and stuff to, like, what's the word? What do people say? Groom y'all to become government
Leaders and stuff like that.
employees.
Yeah. That's what I seen. Like, why
And
were we
leaders
learning all
too.
that?
I have notes about that.
Like, why were we learning about the Roman alphabet, the Roman numerals, Morse code?
What I think it was is I think Like, you know how, I mean, I'm not qualified to talk about this, but like when you do certain things, it like works your brain out like a muscle, and now you know how to like do this type of thing. And it's like training your mind to be able to do something on a smaller scale. So I feel like it's like a psychological thing. Like while I'm doing these puzzles and solving these words, it's actually doing something else in my mind to like form y'all's like young minds into the type of person that they want to work for them.
Yeah. I also, along with we didn't say the pink drink, allegedly. The pink drink, like I said, was a concentrated form of fluoride. And now, currently, we know how bad that hurts your pineal glands. I don't think I'm saying that right. The pineal gland in your brain, which is considered the third eye. And that's why we don't supposedly remember all of it. So,
that's what's, there's like a whole nother supernatural side of this too, which is why this conspiracy theory is so interesting, because it really like brings together spirituality and politics. And how like the government knows all about that, but like nobody ever speaks on it.
Yeah.
Because some people see it more of the political stuff like we just talked about, like training these young kids to be their workers or whatever. Controllable. And then another part of it is they thought that they were testing solely for psychological abilities, like being a psychic and all this crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So that's why that's another reason why people think that the pink drink was a thing, because like you said, your third eye and stuff, they were like they knew these kids, they were testing to see if these kids were like that, but they were crushing it so they wouldn't be a threat to society.
Some Stranger Things shit right there.
For real. I saw somebody say that and I was like, now I saw this comment and said, so y'all were living in Stranger Things world and didn't tell us about nothing? That is me. Like, what were y'all doing? I was sitting there struggling to add and subtract, and y'all was levitating and stuff.
No, when you said that I didn't come to lunch, there was someone talking about how this, like, you figure out this. I remember someone put it in the comment. It was like, you figure out this code, you can go to recess. I don't remember ever missing lunch or recess. I thought I was just in there for that class period.
No, you were always at recess and you were always at lunch. You just didn't sit with us.
You can't sit with us? That's so weird.
Yeah, you was like too like special and shit for us.
I so badly
But like
want to
I said, it wasn't every day, because I remember like sitting with you at lunch and like all of our other friends in class. But like there were times where you just weren't there because you were still like with your thing. I remember like I would like ask about it. This literally just unlocked because I was like a really curious kid. I want to know what's going on. So I would go up to our teacher and be like, where are they at? Like, are they going to come back? She would be like, they would say that y'all's classwork like ran late. And I would be like, dang, they must have some really hard stuff to do.
You know, we should ask that second grade teacher. I wonder if she would know.
I thought about that, but I feel like she's definitely the type to like not know anything about it. Like she was kind of scatterbrained in like the most endearing, cute way possible, but yeah, like she doesn't know.
She had her own things going on in life at that time.
Yeah, she did. And she told us about it, which was such a vibe for me. I was like, what's the tea, girl?
Yeah, we never forget that. We'd always go get her pickle juice for her.
Okay, anyway. So I have a story about the pink drink. So like I said earlier, I've been through a lot of testing in school. But this was the craziest experience. And it's not really even about testing, but it's about the pink drink. So I went to kindergarten in Macon. And I went to a really bougie, like, magnet school because we lived down the road and I got to go for free. And then I lived at, like, a really trash school in, like, the early... You know it's bad when it's, like, the early 2000s and you have metal detectors and clear backpacks. So, like, that's just I don't remember exactly which school it was where this happened, but there was a dental truck that would come to the school, and my mom signed the permission slip saying that she didn't want me to do it. But when the day came, I got called anyways.
Mm-hmm.
And they did dental work on my mouth, but the main thing that I remember is the pink drink and waking back up in class, which is another thing that people talk about, is like they don't remember what happened after they drank the drink. They would just wake back up and be in class and be like confused about what happened.
I read that comment, and like they still do the dental thing or whatever, because my little cousins just did that like 2 weeks ago. But I saw where people were saying that and how they remember that they drank the pink drink, woke up in class, and just all of a sudden they had a goodie bag.
Yeah, I had like stuff from the dentist, but it's like you don't knock little kids out to clean their teeth.
Yeah.
But that's what like people, that's kind of like how I registered it in my mind. Like even at that young age, I was basically just told myself like I just had a medical procedure done and now I don't remember anything. That's really why I'm a hypochondriac.
But the thing is, they're only supposed to clean your teeth. They don't have to knock you out to clean your teeth. They're not even supposed to like
that's what I'm
fill a
saying.
cavity. Like I was thinking that when back in the day, I used to think they would like fill people's cavities and all that. And I remember people would come back with like their jaw like being swollen when they're only supposed to clean your teeth.
I had blood all the way down my shirt.
Yeah. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but that's what I remember.
So I wake back up in the classroom. My Aunt Jan was working for the school at the time. I remember I had lunch with her and she called my mom. And they came back up there and raised hell. Because like I said, my mom did not sign the permission slip for me to do that. And I don't remember anything about it except the pink drink, walking up on the truck, being given the pink drink in that same jug, just like the picture. And then talking to my Aunt Jan, and then my dad throwing a chair across the office.
But like it makes so much sense that they would do it, like play it off as the dentist, because it's fluoride and fluoride toothpaste. So like that was their second way to come across and get the people that they didn't get in gate.
Yeah, that was like she didn't pass the test, but like there's still something a little off about her, so we're just gonna go ahead and. But also, I was in kindergarten. Like I was really young for like I was too young for gate.
That was before. No, people were saying that they were in it from kindergarten to second grade.
Really? Well,
So
the older generations of it say that it always happened in 3rd or 4th grade. But like there's so many different versions of it that's like all trying to do the same thing. Like all the signs are the same.
I'm still thinking about this leap situation. It's really kind of got my brain like boggled. I gave myself a headache last night thinking about all this.
Back to the spirituality side of it. So, like we were saying, some people think that they were being tested for academically so they could be groomed. Other people think that they were harnessing their abilities and their powers so they wouldn't be a threat to society. And once I got on that side of things, I started looking into indigo children, which is like a whole nother conspiracy theory. Because, well, first of all, Jenna, do you believe in aliens?
Yes, they're real. The government said that the aliens were real.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of like an old school question, because like now it's like we kind of know.
I don't necessarily know what they would look like, and like I don't think they're green, bald-headed, and all of that for sure. But we definitely know that they're real because the government says they have, but I don't know what they would look like. I don't know. I believe in them though.
Yeah, I don't know what I think, because like I do think that there's some things that are like humanly impossible to understand. And no matter how much science you do or how much research and understanding you try to find out, there's some things that we're just not meant to know as humans. And that's one of the things that I don't care to know.
Yeah, honestly, when it comes to stuff like that, I think ignorance is bliss. Okay.
Facts. But indigo children is like, that's how these people that were in the GATE program, that were like, there's so many things that happened to these kids that like pointed to the spiritual
Supernatural.
side of the GATE program. Yeah, the supernatural side of it. Because they said as they got older and they started to remember things, they began to like practice unsuppressing their spirituality and stuff and their abilities. But some people say that the reason why psychic ability in children was such a problem to the point where the GATE program had to be a thing is because in World War II, the like radiation of the earth, or maybe it was the United States, I don't know, the radiation of our environment got so high that it like changed the frequency in which the human brain operated for certain people.
Oh, see, I didn't go this deep into the research. I did.
Yeah, this
see
really doesn't have anything to do with it. I just heard like these people that think they were in GATE for spiritual reasons call themselves that, and I'm like, what does that mean?
I seen where Shane Dawson, that's the name I was trying to think of earlier. He's got a podcast where he talks about conspiracy theories, and he talked about this last year. And no free promo, but I guess I did just then. But he was in it, and there was a girl that came on there talking about it, where she got tested, but she didn't get put in it. Where they were saying allegedly, like I'm not sure how I feel about this because I was in it, obviously, so it kind of creeps me out. But allegedly, she said that they were trying to, since we had quote unquote like psychic abilities or whatever you want to call it. I'm not really sure how. I don't know.
Yeah, that's how most people were calling it because that's the only way to explain the test that y'all were giving. It was like pure tuition tests.
They said that they were trying to test us to see if we could talk to aliens, and I don't know if I believe that part, but allegedly that was what one person said on there. And Shane Dawson has this obsession with aliens. Personally, I wouldn't know. Like, it would be cool to find out about the stuff, but also, like I said, ignorance is bliss, and I don't want to be freaked out.
Yeah, that ties into the indigo children stuff again, because the other side of it is some people think it's because of the World War II radiation, and some people think that indigo children are star seeds, which means that they are basically aliens. Like, they were put in the earth. I don't believe this because you have to be birthed.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works.
That goes against the whole religion, like Christ.
Yeah, but
like
that part too. But it's also like, if there's a separate thing, I don't know. It's just like, where did these kids really come from then? But I mean, if we're trying to like make up some crazy psychological like sci-fi situation, I guess that these beings would have the power to like make this woman think that she just birthed a child, but really it's a freaking alien kid. That's crazy.
This is where Stranger Things comes in again. You have to finish watching it, but yeah,
No,
that's crazy. Callie did always say I look like an alien.
you're an alien, dude. You're a star seed. But that would make sense for like the Shane Dawson theory or whatever that he said about using y'all to talk to aliens, because y'all are star seeds, which is like so freaking out there. Like, I don't believe that. I really believe, like, I do believe in psychics. Like, I've experienced stuff like this before.
Yes, an empath.
And if y'all are having those psychological tests, then that's definitely what it is. Like, they're testing y'all to see what y'all got going on.
Every one of us now has the most vivid, outgoing dreams. And if you know me, and if you're one of my streaks on Snapchat, you know how crazy my dreams are every night. Every night.
I'm about to look up the signs of an indigo child and read them to you.
And repetitive dreams. I cannot remember what it was, but as a child, when I was going through GATE, just so happens, like when I was going through GATE, I had a repetitive dream, but it wasn't like a good dream. It was like something bad was going to happen. And I'm just thankful I can't remember it now, but I did have like a repetitive bad dream. And I remember telling my mom about it, and she was just like, she kind of looked at me crazy.
Yeah. There's so much to get into, but these are the characteristics of an indigo child. So, strong sense of independence or resisting authority, feels different from peers, questions rules, systems, or traditions, is very empathetic or severely emotional, has a deep intuition or gut feeling, mature thinking from a young age, strong sense of justice and fairness, may feel misunderstood or out of place, highly creative or imaginative, drawn to art, music, writing, and abstract ideas, big picture thinking, and an interest in meaning and purpose. Challenges that they may face is frustration with structure or rigid school system, intense emotions, and difficult fitting in to traditional expectations.
I definitely have a lot of those, but when I was a kid, I would suppress my emotions and my creativity, but everything else, yes.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, is like everything except for like the emotional stuff. But obviously, like your environment plays into it as well.
Yeah. But everything else, yes.
But that was more of like everything else that I was seeing on TikTok was like way more supernatural. So
Yes,
I
that's
just
what.
typed in spiritual, like more of the spiritual side, and it said you're able to feel energy, moods, intentions in the room, more stuff about intuition, feel connected to something bigger than themselves, feel like they're here for a reason or purpose, deep empathy for people, animals, and nature, sensitive to harsh environments, conflict, and dishonesty, and may withdraw to recharge. Vivid imagination, dreams, feeling spiritual aware at a young age, drawn to topics like the universe and the meaning of life, feeling older than their age. That was the big thing I saw.
Yeah.
Like when you're a kid, I don't think that I'm any of this at all. But when I was a kid, I remember feeling so old. Like I remember specifically when I like realized the concept of age and I realized how young I was, and I was like, there's no freaking way that I'm like 6 years old right now. But I feel like that was because I was literally around adults all the time, and like my vocabulary, when I like learned to talk, I was told that I was just like talking like an adult from the beginning, and like I was always in adult conversations and like adult situations and stuff. So I like really thought I was like 20 when I was like 6.
Yeah, because you were like an only child for 8 years, and then
Yeah.
after that, your family always spoke highly of you. And when you were brought into any family situation, they would always act like, because you were like one of the only children around for years, so you were always treated like you were. Basically, they weren't sheltering you from anything. Like, I mean, mostly, but yeah, that's so
And like
crazy.
I definitely think I'm affected by like energies and stuff, but not as like bad as like not as much as you are.
I hide it a lot very well. Recently, no. It's like I don't know what's going on with me. I'm just like bursting at the seams from holding all that in.
No, like I mean like the way like environments affect you, like you'll just like kind of be like, this is a lot, and then just like even if you don't want to, like you'll kind of like close up. When
I
like
get overwhelmed.
rightfully so, like if you're in a bad situation that's not serving you, then like
But
period.
I'll get like that even when it's not like that anymore. I also said that a scene where a lot of people in Gate have like really bad anxiety, and I get that. I get overwhelmed at the smallest things now, and I used to have like crippling anxiety, but I'm working on it.
But that might be from like things that you can't see. Like you can't see energy, you feel it.
Yeah.
It doesn't all have to be you that's making you feel that way, is what like this is saying.
Yeah. When I looked up on you, we were talking about how we were going to look into the indigo children. Everything I saw on TikTok was more supernatural, so I was like, I don't know about this. But now that you're reading that, yeah, I can see how.
Yeah, like a lot of them, like the people that call themselves indigo children, like openly, are like definitely like witches. But yeah, it's like it can be more logical than that.
Yeah. There's different levels. It's like some people that just take it and really like run with it. But yeah. I hope I don't sound crazy on here, you guys, okay? Don't take all this and make
I
me feel
mean,
like
I don't think you sound crazy. It's scary to not remember something like that.
yeah.
Especially because, like, when there's people saying that they remember everything about their childhood except for this. Like,
Yeah.
I think you've said before that you don't remember some things about your childhood, which is like, nobody does, but like, some people do, and they don't remember this.
Yeah, but it's not like just like a little bit of this and you don't remember what happened after this. Not, it's like a whole chunk took out.
Facts.
And it's just upsetting because of everything I went through at a young age. Upsetting getting that chunk ripped from my brain.
Yeah.
I wonder if, like, I don't know, the people that were in gifted would probably think we're crazy if I tried to ask them the same questions, because it was the same teacher that did the regular gifted that did this with us.
Yeah, you should be like, there's one person that I'm thinking of specifically, you know, like our other best friend in second grade.
Yes.
We've been on social media, like, liking each other's stuff recently.
You're talking about
And
EP.
I've thought about her the whole time we've been researching this. She was like super religious, like the most religious friend that I had. I remember one time I wore a peace sign shirt and she told me that it was like the devil. So like I think if stuff like that was happening, she would call it out. Like she was very firm in her faith as a little baby. I feel like she'd be like, this I rebuke this in the name of Jesus.
What
But I
is
mean she
going
wouldn't
on
remember
here?
it, I guess.
Yeah.
But she was in the
You're
other
talking.
room than you. She wasn't in the gate program.
She was in the other one, but it's the same teacher. I will still remember that. It's like the fact. I'm glad I can remember the teacher and that one person, but like, I want to remember so badly who else, because that person I cannot talk to.
I don't even know how we would talk to him. I haven't seen him since.
I've
I feel
seen
like
him.
he
I know
even moved. Like I don't even remember him in high school.
he works. Well, I can't say. I don't want to like call him out, but I know exactly where he works. He's still in Eastman.
He should. But I mean, dude, he definitely doesn't remember.
No, there's no way. He's like, he had. I don't know. I definitely don't think he would, and he would look at me like I'm crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But what if it was something that like you signed up for? Like, what if it was something that like I don't know, because it's just so weird the random people that were in there. But I know we were tested for it.
The whole time I'm thinking I'm getting tested for ADHD or fucking gifted. Like, I'm like, whoa, like, let's go. And then, but I was so curious at the same time. I'd be like hesitant.
Yeah. It's also like I wanted to talk about this because I keep bringing up the fact that I was tested for a lot of things in school. But I've been tested correctly for things. And the people that tested me, I knew them. Like, I know their daughters. I went to school, like, they went to school with us. I cheered with them. And, like, I knew her. But these people that were doing this, all these kids, random people, don't know them, never see them again. They just came for the testing. And then you just had a teacher.
Yeah.
That's another, like, sign. Because, especially, like, in our small town, if it was somebody that we knew that did the testing, I would remember. Because I remember every single one of my teachers. I remember all of their names all through school. I remember everybody that worked at the school.
I vividly remember the man's voice in the hearing test. That was crazy. And I just remember the pink drink being so nasty. I did not like bubble gum.
I remember liking it. I was like, make me forget, girl.
Make me forget, girl. Please. I forget all this. Give me some
Need a
more.
nap.
Wake up back in class.
It's crazy that you saw stuff about the dental truck, though. Like, I really thought that was, like, just me reaching to remember something because I do know the pink drink very well.
That would be that's more believable than them giving it to us in the classroom, being like,
Yeah.
this is to test your blood pressure, or this is for your snack, instead of they would call it Kool-Aid. But it's fluoride, so it's easier to play it off in the dental truck than in a regular classroom.
That's so creepy, dude.
Yeah.
It will be
That's
fun
why-
to like have a teacher on the podcast, like from the early 2000s.
Yes, we need to do that. I would love to have what's his name sitting right here to give me his information about how he felt about it.
Yeah. But
Dude,
another thing that I have on my list, have you ever heard of handlers?
no.
Okay.
It's just
So,
surprising. I love a conspiracy theory.
in finding out about this program and me trying to wonder why they're doing this, like why is the CIA doing this? And the thing that I wanted to know was, what are they doing with these kids after the fact? Like, some kids say that they were in it all the way up through middle school, but I feel like that was more of the later generations. But like for us, it was just like an elementary school thing, and then like once you got to middle school, you'd be like in beta or like actual AP classes and stuff like that. So I was like, what happens? Like, are they following up with these kids and like actually fulfilling the job, like seeing it through or whatever? And I found out that Candace Owens, you know Candace Owens,
Mm-mm.
look her up, you know her. She makes a lot of political videos.
Oh yeah. She was in it.
Yeah, she was in it. She recently made like on her one of her newer podcasts, I want to say, she said that her and Charlie Kirk were both in the GATE program.
Mm.
So, Charlie Kirk, we all know.
Yeah.
We know Erica Kirk.
Yeah.
And I didn't know this. Like, I was like, I don't get into all this stuff, okay? So I've always wondered, but never looked into how Erica Kirk was like so tied into Trump. But apparently they met when she was young and she was doing beauty pageants because Trump, being the nasty dude that he is, was all up in the beauty pageant world and he like owned Miss USA, I want to say. Don't take my word for that. But I'm pretty sure he did at one point, like way before he was president and stuff. So he met Erica Kirk through the pageant world. They're
Epstein
like,
files.
yeah, they're like locked in and stuff, besties, I'm guessing. And then Charlie Kirk starts coming up in his political career, right? And then all of a sudden, when he's at the peak of his like turning point in his career, where he's about to become mainstream and stuff, he starts dating Erica Kirk. And people think that Erica Kirk is his handler, and Trump was like scouting out women, to be with up and coming politicians, because this was all like a scheme for Erica Kirk to be able to like, so like to be a handler is basically like, I can shut you up when I want you to, like you're gonna listen to me. I'm like, you don't know it, but I'm controlling every single thing that you do. Anybody could have a handler. Like your boyfriend could be your handler, your mom could be your handler. It's just like a broad term. But it's this whole thing with like in the CIA program, after these kids graduate, when they see them actually go out in the career and use the tools that they installed in their brain from a young age, now they're going to send somebody in to make sure that the plan is followed through and they're doing what they were set out to do as a kid, like throughout their whole lives. You don't even know it. Like these people come into your lives and they're just playing out a role that was made up for you to play.
It makes sense, being that she really didn't even care about him afterwards. Like, she would try to act like it afterwards, and she really didn't care. Like,
Yeah,
all the
it was all
interviews.
it was all just like a ploy,
Yeah.
an initiative. So, what are you doing for your birthday?
So after this, I'm going to be an adult, pay my bills. Fun. Happy 24 to me. I want to get a house. It's expensive, but I love it, I guess. Then I am going to work on candles with Raven when she gets off of her big girl job. We're going to work on candles, our Valentine's candles. So I don't forget to shop. I actually have pictures for you to insert now, okay?
Okay, period.
And I don't know why I can't stop doing that. Like, okay, all right.
I love that. Okay.
Okay. But and then after that we're doing a little surprise photo shoot. So I'm excited about that. I have to go get some stuff for it. But it's a Tuesday, so obviously, like, I can't just, like, do crazy birthday things. I'm not really built for that anymore. This past weekend, got so
Yeah, I was
drunk.
about to say Jenna had a little early birthday celebrations with the Cutwaters this weekend.
Dude, the Cutwater's like the equivalent of the adult Four Locos, which is crazy saying that, like, the adult Four Locos, like, we
Yeah.
were drinking.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. But so I drank 4 lemon drop what? I drank 4 lemon drop Cutwaters, and then we finished the birthday cake moonshine. I can remember everything except for about an hour before I went to sleep. And apparently I was up talking, and normally they say I have like an alternative name for when I get blackout drunk. And normally I'd be like ready to throw my ass or dance or something like that. No, this time I wanted to hold people's hands, and cry. Like, just love everyone. Like,
I hate when that happens. Like, I wake up, like, the amount of oversharing and pouring out of my whole entire soul that I did, I can never speak to anyone again.
yes. No, I don't know why I did it. I had the worst Sunday scaries. More than stupid shit I've done in the past. Me pouring my heart out, crying in front of someone, literally made me so embarrassed. I did it to everyone. And it was like a moment where I was like, okay.
I'm the same way. Like, I don't ever dance. Like, I made that mistake one time, and, like, my whole friend group still bullies me to the ends of the earth because I can't dance that
I have the
way.
video still.
So don't try. Like, I just never tried again, thank God.
Well,
I mean,
so
like, I
glad.
never even want to. I was just, like, felt like it was the thing to do. It's disgusting. It's just, like, so not me.
Well,
But, no offense to people that can do it well. Love that. I just can't. So, like, don't try. Please.
I never want to do that again after that one video.
Yeah. You can dance, though.
That's not the video I'm talking about.
Are you talking about the one at my birthday party? Or are you talking about the water slide party?
I'm not talking about the water slide party. I'm talking about the one at your house that I wasn't alone.
Yeah, my birthday party.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would way rather, like, bust my ass, like, just scream to the top of my lungs, raging, having, like, a wild night, than sit there and cry and tell somebody about my feelings.
Yes. And I never cry in front of people, so the fact that I did that, and I remember that part, like, I remember until they left, and then I wouldn't leave Callie alone. Like, every time I get blackout drunk at her house, I always want to, like, annoy her when she goes laying down. And apparently I talked to Roster for an hour, nothing, and then finally put myself to sleep. But
I would do that too, though, because I feel like when we get blackout drunk together, there's no sleep. We just pass out where we are, standing up against the wall.
Dude, it was so crazy. I woke up the next day feeling like the bottom of the earth. Like, never again. And I messaged the person that I poured my heart out to the next day. I was like, girl, I don't know what I said. 75% of what I said to you, I'm a little embarrassed, but never again. And she's like, no, girl, I had fun.
That always helps to, like, just text the person and be like, I just want you to know that I hate myself.
But the thing is, I think I admitted something. I don't know what I said, but honestly, I was just apologizing for doing nothing. Literally,
she called me the next day and she was like, I was apologizing to so and so, and I was like, what did you do to her? Like, we're just cool besties.
Nothing. I did nothing, but I'm still apologizing for not doing enough. Apparently, don't know.
That's so funny.
But it's just so funny because I remember I got so emotional because I was like, I actually know you longer than I know some of these other people, like, because the school bus. I was like, wow.